From ancient Babylon, Egypt, and Greece to the present day, Mars has fascinated astronomers. Mars is the planet closest to Earth, making it the next frontier after the moon landing in 1969. However, despite promises from governments and oligarchs, Mars exploration has made little progress in recent years. Will the next major stage in space exploration ever be taken? Hello everyone, welcome back to Zeey. And now we're answering an extraordinary question: will life ever be possible on Mars? Do you require answers to the major questions? Then why not subscribe to Zeey for more videos like this one and ring the bell for more thought-provoking information. To answer this query, we must identify the primary obstacles separating humanity from the red planet. The most pressing issue is the decline in public support for space exploration. 69% of Americans in 2023, according to the Pew Research Center, believe that the United States should be a leader in space exploration. This is an increase of 3% from 2018. And space exploration has never been a top concern for voters, who are typically more concerned with earthly matters. In 2019, another Pew survey found that approximately 2/3 of Americans believe NASA should prioritize climate change over space exploration. Former NASA Deputy Administrator Lori Garver agreed with this statement. Why should we care about Mars then? First, it is difficult to exaggerate the technological and scientific advancements that a concerted Mars mission could produce. The Apollo missions to the moon, for instance, represented enormous technological advances. The technologies developed for Apollo missions have had an impact on a variety of fields, including footwear and firefighting. They developed novel building materials and load-bearing techniques. NASA scientists invented solar panels, cordless power tools, and digital imaging technologies that are now utilized in medical scanners such as MRIs. The impact on our daily existence has been immeasurable, permeating every facet of contemporary technology. In the 21st century, a Mars mission could herald in a new era of consumer and industrial technologies. Biologists believe that researching the history of Mars could help us comprehend life on Earth and in other parts of the universe. More than half of Americans surveyed by Pew in 2023 were enthusiastic about space tourism. Finally, the economic potential of space mining cannot be quantified. Mars is the solar system planet nearest to the asteroid belt. According to NASA, the mineral and rare element wealth contained within the belt is approximately $100 billion per person on Earth. The installation of a Martian mining base could spark a gold stampede in the 21st century. Even if the human race mustered the collective will to explore and colonize Mars, there are two primary practical obstacles that must be overcome. The first is its separation from the Earth. On a cosmic scale, Mars is our closest neighbor, or more formally, one door over, so to speak. Well, on a human scale, the term near is relative. The average distance between Mars and Earth is approximately 140 million miles. Using current technology, a one-way journey to Mars takes approximately 6.5 months. This implies that if something were to go wrong with a Mars mission, our astronauts would have very little support. Outside of the Earth's magnetosphere, astronauts are exposed to solar radiation that can permeate spacecraft and spacesuits. The longer the journey to Mars, the greater the astronauts' exposure to dangerous solar gusts. We are presently working on countermeasures, but there is currently no definitive answer. To make Mars colonization feasible, this travel time must be drastically reduced. Fortunately, preparations are in the works to expedite our arrival. Teams of scientists from around the world are developing new propulsion systems that, if successful, could make the entire solar system explorable. The NASA Innovative Advanced Concepts Division approved 14 new propulsion concepts for Phase 1 development at the beginning of 2023. NASA announced a new partnership with DARPA and defense contractor Lockheed Martin in the summer of 2023. The organizations will design and construct a rocket powered by nuclear energy. A nuclear-powered engine could be 3 times as effective as a conventional chemical rocket. A 6 to 7 month journey with a chemical rocket would be reduced to a 45-day excursion with a nuclear engine, according to projections. By 2025, NASA plans to launch a functioning prototype into orbit. Additionally, private corporations are entering the market for alternative propulsion. SpaceX and Evo Limited will launch and test their electric quantum drive in October of 2023. If successful, they could modify the known physical laws by producing thrust without propellant. The final and most formidable obstacle to Mars colonization is that it is a lifeless planet. Mars is frigid, dry, and rocky. Existing or not, the Martian atmosphere is over 100 times thinner than Earth's. Mars has an average temperature of approximately -80 degrees Fahrenheit, and its gravity is slightly greater than a third of that of Earth. Those are solvable issues. Mars appears inhospitable when considering the absence of liquid water and oxygen. Water exists on Mars in the form of ice, particularly at the planet's extremes. Additionally, studies have uncovered ice buried beneath the surface of Mars. NASA is optimistic, despite the fact that we lack the technologies necessary to extract and defrost that ice. The Mars Ice Challenge is an annual competition for university science departments. They are hopeful that new technologies will make ice mining a viable option. The atmosphere, however, poses a greater challenge. 95% of Mars' atmosphere consists of carbon dioxide. There is almost no oxygen, which is harmful for humans, and very little nitrogen, which is bad for plants. Moreover, because the air pressure is so low, colonists would need to inhabit pressurized habitats. There is a debate among scientists and engineers regarding the ethical treatment of these problems. Some proponents propose investigating and colonizing space in situ, adapting to the environment. Others argue that sustainable colonization necessitates terraforming or the modification of the planet to suit our requirements. NASA is currently considering both alternatives. NIAC has partnered with TechShot Inc., for instance, to develop hermetic biodomes for in-situ colonization. Using screw mechanisms to mine subsurface ice for water, they would establish vast colonies of cyanobacteria and algae that produce oxygen. This would provide colonists with a sustainable source of oxygen. Terraforming is a matter of greater complexity. We would have to construct a habitable atmosphere from scratch by inducing a greenhouse effect. The addition of greenhouse gases would both thicken the atmosphere and warm the planet. Musk once suggested nuking the polar regions of Mars to discharge greenhouse gases into the atmosphere. The problem is that Mars probably does not contain enough of these compounds to completely terraform the planet. The importation of ammonia, methane, and other hydrocarbons from solar system planets has been proposed by scientists. Given current technological advancements, the viability of these schemes is questionable. However, with enhanced propulsion systems, it would be much simpler to travel to various moons and asteroids to extract and transport these elements. The importation of fluoride compounds, such as PFCs and CFCs, is a second, marginally more feasible option. The greenhouse effect of these compounds is greater than that of CO2 and ammonia. An annual production of 170 kilotons of fluoride compounds could meet our needs within a decade. This could be accomplished by bombarding the planet with PFC and CFC projectiles or by employing local mining techniques. Even if we were to succeed in implementing any of these intricate terraforming schemes, all of our efforts to create a habitable environment would be undone by solar radiation. Current research indicates that Mars was warmer, humid, and had an atmosphere similar to Earth in the distant past. In the process, however, the Martian magnetosphere perished and solar winds swept out its atmosphere. Without a magnetic field to protect the planet, we could only produce a temporary atmosphere. And without protection from solar radiation, astronauts, explorers, scientists, and colonists all face an increased risk of developing cancer over the long term. The technology required to give a planet a magnetic field is currently well beyond our capabilities. However, former NASA chief scientist Jim Green has devised a solution to this problem. He has proposed constructing an artificial magnetosphere between Mars and the Sun at the L1 Lagrange point. Due to the vast distance, it could be considerably lesser than a planet's magnetic field while still protecting Mars. With this magnetic shield in place, the atmosphere would stabilize and begin terraforming by itself. Without intervention, the air pressure and temperature would both increase substantially over time. In his famous 1962 speech, President John F. Kennedy declared, "We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard." In terms of difficulty, colonizing Mars is far more challenging than traveling to the moon. The obstacles are comparable in magnitude to the prospective benefits. Mars exploration is easily dismissed as a pipe fantasy in a world where climate change is compounded by our daily concerns. However, despite the fact that their work may not always make headlines, many scientists around the globe continue to make progress toward this objective. They are slowly and discreetly developing the necessary technologies to transform humanity into a multi-planet species. Mars colonization would necessitate a massive investment of time, money, and optimism. If humanity can unite around a common objective and a shared vision, life on Mars may one day be possible. What are your thoughts? Is there anything we left out? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell to stay up to date on our latest content.